The Sign of the Chrysanthemum by Catherine Patterson. Chapter 10. The House on Rokujo Avenue. There was a bitter taste of bile in his mouth as he ran down Suzaku Oji, his head thumping with every step as though a large rock were being bounced from one side of his skull to the other. Akiko! Akiko! He had no plan, no more cunning than a raging bear whose cub has been stolen. He simply ran to where he thought she might be, determined to snatch her away to safety. When he got to the intersection, he turned right. A large house, the uncle had said, just a step off Suzaku Oji. The street was already crowded with merrymakers from the festival, seeking to crown their day with a night in the bawdy district. Muna elbowed his way through the doorway of the largest house. On the threshold stood a woman in a garish kimono, her face powdered to a ghostly white, upon which eyebrows and lips were painted. Her mouth curved into an exaggerated smile. She stuck out a long arm and barred the entrance. "First you pay, little one, then you are welcome to come in." Muna's throat was so dry that he could hardly speak, and his body still heaved from the exertion of running such a distance. "Akiko," he gasped out, "daughter of Kawaki, the sandal maker. Is she here?" The woman laughed a shrill, mirthless laugh. "First you pay." "I have no money," he cried. "Please, please help me. I have to find her." "No money?" The painted eyebrows went up. "Kato!" she called sharply into the house. A burly man appeared, the hulk of his body filling the narrow doorway. The woman jerked her head toward Muna and dropped her arm. The man took a step toward him, legs spread like a wrestler, his huge muscled arms held out from his body, poised. But Muna was too quick. He ducked around the mountainous form into the dim interior. "Akiko!" He screamed the name. "Akiko!" Heads popped out of every entranceway, powdered faces staring. Suddenly a girl appeared. She was wearing a bright red and lavender kimono, her hair piled high off her neck. Her face, like all the others, was an eerie white, with black blots for eyebrows and a red wound for a mouth. When she opened her mouth to speak, she revealed blackened teeth. "Go away, Muna." It was she. Merciful Kwanan, what had they done? "Quickly, please, I beg you, go away." "Akiko!" He reached out to grab her arm. He must get her away from this terrible place. But as his hand touched her sleeve, there was a sharp pain on the back of his head. He was dimly aware that the one called Kato was dragging him out behind the house. There, armed only with his massive right hand, Kato began to beat him, coldly and systematically. The pain engulfed him like a dark cave. But in the tiny corner of his consciousness that remained to him, Muna acknowledged a kind of admiration for the man's workmanship. He went about his task like a craftsman, plying his trade with small grunts of concentration and the natural cadence of a true artist. Muna clenched his teeth and forced his mind from the pain to the rhythmic sound of flesh on flesh. Suddenly it was over. Kato was wiping his great hand on his apron. "Now," he said, and the words buzzed in Muna's head. "Now, you filthy little son of nothing, you try a trick like this again, and I'll beat the girl." just as I've beaten you tonight. As for you, he spat. The cold spittle stung Muna's burning skin. Who knows what I might do to you? He grabbed the boy by an arm and leg and threw him into the alley. Somewhere, miles away, Muna heard a door slam and voices laughing, but the buzzing in his head grew louder and blocked out every other sound. I am going to die. The thought cut through the buzzing and burning, crystal and cool. No, he heard his voice, raspy and weak. He forced it to be strong. No. He struggled to his feet, only to fall again. For a long time he lay there, the slightest movement sending a thrill of pain through his body. Then, like a warhorse, with a great shudder, he forced himself once more to his feet, and grasping the sides of buildings for support, made his way back to the swordsmith's shop. At dawn, he dragged himself from between his quilts and went about his duties. All day he could feel the swordsmith watching him, asking him with his eyes the meaning of his bruises. But the boy said nothing. He would give no hint to his master of the raging spirit locked in the cage of aching, burning flesh.